Hello, in this tutorial I will be showing how to make a really nice round system and some extra features in case anyone needs it. Now the first thing we need to do is we are going to add a script into the server script service, and then I'm just going to name this server. This can be anything you want or an add-on to your current script. Now in here, the first thing we want is a table. This table will hold every player that is currently in the game. So local, and we can just do in-game is equal to a table. Now, if anyone doesn't really know what a table is, it's basically like assigning data to other data. So here I could say like engineered egg is equal to false. This is equal to false. This basically just means I'm not in the game, or I can say true and now I'm in the game. And that's basically what that table is going to hold for every player. Let's also get the player service. So local players is equal to game, and we'll get the service players. There we go. So now let's make some functions that we will be able to use for later. So local start the game, or sorry, local function start game, and then we will have another one for ending the game, so local function end game. And if you don't know what a function is, basically we're able to call it from anywhere else. Like if I say start game, it's going to do whatever this says. So if I say like print starting game, and then I open the output while playing, as you can see it says starting game, and that's basically what that means. So now down here we can say while true do, and this goes in an infinite loop. So you don't want any code under this, because in Lua it runs from top to bottom. So if you have code under an infinite loop, it's not going to run. So what we can say here is we can add another function, local function, and we'll call this can start. And then we should probably add another one, which is can end. There we go. And basically we will say can start, then start game, and then end game, and I think that's all we need in the loop. So in can start we're going to say return hashtag players get players, and this will return a number is above, and if we just say above 0 for now, start game, here we can just say print started game. And since okay, so my game's currently crashing because I made a mistake. Now if you look here, this is going too fast because we don't have like a wait, and it's just running over and over again. Yeah, if you look at the output, it says started game 1,300 times already. So yeah, we need to fix that. So we're just gonna say repeat test.wait, and let's wait 1 second until hashtag players get players is above 0. So it's going to repeat task.wait 1, and if you use wait, it's better to use task.wait. I've heard that this will be more accurate. I'm not sure if that's actually true, but that's just what I do. And then now we can say start game. And in start game, we can, and if you want to have a timer, I recommend putting it in replicated storage. So in here, I can put a number value, and I'll call this timer. And then here we can say, well, first let's call replicated storage. So local replicated storage is equal to game get service replicated storage. So here we can say the local timer is equal to replicated storage dot timer. And just so it's not confusing, let's say dot value, because usually you'd have to say timer dot value every single time, but since we're just saying value here, it's a lot easier to manage. Now we need to put all the players into the in-game table. So here we can say for underscore player and players get player, and basically what this does is it runs through every player in the game. And here we can say table dot insert, and we're going to put it into the in-game table, so in-game. And then here we want to put the value, so here we will say, and I'm not sure exactly, I think we can do just player is equal to true. And then here we can just say print, and then in game, let's see if that works. And if I check this table, 1 is equal to false, 2 is equal to false, and I'm not sure why it's like that. If we immediately, it's just a table. So it goes through every player in the game. We will add it into in-game, and let's just say, instead, what would be a better idea is we can just say add the player into the table, and then if we find the player in the table, then yeah, so that's how it's going to be. I don't know what I was thinking earlier, but that should be better. So now whenever we print in-game, it's going to print this player. And let's put another loop, so we're going to repeat test.wait until, and we need to move the can end function up here so we're able to use it, because again it runs from top to bottom. And we will repeat until can end, like that. And here we're able to say timer is equal or minus equal 1. And let's first set it for whenever the game first starts, so we can say timer is equal to, let's say 100. And if you want, you can also print it, so print timer. And then we can also print the table, so print the in-game. And that should be it for starting the game. Now here, you're able to do anything you want. If you want it to happen every second, you can put it in here. And if you want it to only happen once, you can just put it here. And now we also need to make the can end. So we're going to say return hashtag players get players is less than 2. Now, it honestly just depends on how many players you want for the game to start. If you want it to be at least 2 players, you can say above or equal to 2. And then here, we want to end it whenever the players is less than 2. Or, and let's actually move this timer variable to up here, so we can use it here as well. So, or timer is less than or equal to 0. And I like to say equal than, and I like to say less than 0 just in case something happens. I know like it's unrealistic, but I just like to have extra checks like that. And that's pretty much all we need to do. Now let's set up the endgame function. So here, let's say, first we need to remove every player. So for underscore player and players get players. Oops. Get players do. Here we can say, yeah, if table dot find, and we're gonna for the in-game table and then the player. Then we will table dot remove in-game and player. Now the reason why you might want to do this is if you want to do something to every player that is in the game, you're able to find said player with the in-game table. And if you also wanted to do something specifically to every player in the game, like give them a weapon or something, here is where you want to do it. So I can say here, do something to every player, do something once, do something every second. And that's basically it. And here can start, it's going to wait for this to happen before moving on to the next thing. And since this is in a forever loop, it will just go over and over and over again. And that's pretty much it. So if I press play, if I check, or oh yeah, above, just for testing purposes, I'll say 0. for it to actually start. And then here I'll also say 0 just for it to work. And as you can see, it prints in the table and it says 1 is equal to me. So that shows that it does put me into the table, and then this is the timer counting down, and yeah, it works. Now the reason why you want it to be an actual object in replicated storage is if you wanted to show that on the client, which I can also show how to do that. So first we need a screen GUI. In here, let's just add a text label, and let's also add a local script, and I'm just going to call this the client. First, let's get replicated storage, so local replicated storage. Let's put the game, get service replicated storage. And let's also get our text label, so local text label. So go to script.parent.text label. And now we can say, or first let's also get timer, so I'm going to put that here. Local timer is equal to replicated storage dot timer. And I'm not, or I guess you could say value. And then here we want to say timer.change. We will connect that to a function with the value that it's changed to. And then here we can just say text label.text is equal to timer : space. And then here we can say dot value. And let's see if that works. As you can see, we have an error. We can't index changed with a value, so let's just say replicated storage.timer. And let's see, it doesn't work, so script.parent. Maybe we just have to say timer.value. And then let's also just make sure it works, so print changed. And it's not working for some reason. Yeah, we got the timer from replicated storage dot timer, the text label that we got earlier, and then every time it should change, it should connect to that, but I'm not entirely sure why it's not running through. Are we not changing timer? Maybe we shouldn't do value. Instead, I'm just gonna say timer. Let's just get timer. And then here we need to say timer.value, and make sure you do that for all of them. So if every time you get timer, you want to say .value. And now, yeah, now that works. I'm not sure why it does that, but we do have an error already. Which is the can end, which is, yeah, we just have to change timer. So timer.value. And now whenever you run it, as you can see, there's no errors. We have a table with the in-game players. So again, if you want to affect a player, like let's just get a sword. If I get a sword from the toolbox, let's use this. Do not put it in starter pack, or it will automatically give it to every player. Let's put it inside of the script. Let's get a variable for it. So local sword is equal to script.sword. And then here we can say local new sword is equal to sword, and let's clone it. And I'm pretty sure we need to put it in the player's inventory for that to work. So new sword.parent is equal to player.in. What is it? If I go ahead and play, check my player. .backpack. So player.backpack. And now let's see if that works. And as you can see, I have a sword in my inventory. Oh. And that's pretty much it for this video. If you have any questions, you can leave a comment. And if you want to join my Discord server, link is in the description. It's not fully finished right now, but it works. So, yeah, goodbye.